this morning we have a nice inversion layer over Christchurch, which has caused me a wee bit of havoc because I was hoping to shoot a little bit closer to home this morning, and unfortunately the cloud hasn't played ball, and the beach that I usually shoot at and I was hoping to get this shot at is fully clouded out. We're in the middle of the Eta Aquarid's meteor shower, which is the leftovers of Halley's comet that passed through Earth's orbit in about the 80s, I think. And so every year about this time we go through that field of debris. What the plan is I've got because I've dilly-dallied around trying to find a clear spot, I've already set up my Fujifilm X-H1 with my Laowa 4mm fisheye lens on it to capture as much of the sky as I possibly can. It's just gone 2:30 now, and I'm going to shoot until about 6:30 this morning. The centre point of the meteor shower, so where it looks like we call it the radiant points, where all the meteors look like they're coming from. If you draw a line all the way back to a point, is from the constellation Aquarius, and that has just risen above the horizon about half an hour, 45 minutes ago. We are also delighted today with a conjunction of planets. There's Saturn, Jupiter, Mars and Venus all in the sky. There's also Neptune, but that isn't visible to the naked eye, but I'll be able to pull it out hopefully in some photos. What I'm then planning to do is using my XS10, my Fujifilm XS10, which is taking the video now, and doing a panorama of the whole of Christchurch with the inversion layer, and I'll in post-production I'll stack the foreground and the sky that I have with this panorama that I'm taking shortly with all the comments from my Laowa lens. There's also a tiny bit of high cloud that is up in the sky this morning. I'm not staying for sunrise because we've got some other plans with the kids this morning, but it might be a good sunrise. As you can see from some of those time lapses, the cloud has decided that it wants to rise a little. We'll see how this turns out. The cloud's just coming in and out all the time, so I'm probably not going to hit too many meteorites with my camera, and I don't know how the panorama's going to come out. In the background there should be Sugarloaf Tower, but as you can see, you cannot see it for the cloud. It was visible a minute ago, just before I started recording on this, but it's not now. So I'm back in the car now. As you can see, I called it 5 minutes afterwards and I was like, no, I'm going home. Even when I've dropped 50 vertical metres from the top of the hill to my car, it's still bloody cloudy down here, so I don't think it's going to clear at all. So I think I've made the right choice. I might try 1 or 2 stops on the way home to see how it's all going out at the coast, and see if it's a bit clearer out there, to take the sky panorama and set up my H1 to see if I can get some more meteors. If I do that, then you'll see it next. If not, you'll see the panorama with the sky and sky that I shot. So I've just finished setting up my XH1, and that's just using the 4mm Laowa lens that I was using before, 60-second exposures, f4, and whatever ISO I was using before yesterday. I haven't changed any settings on that, just so the exposure's the same and easier to blend in post. It's just gone 4:30, so I'm hoping I can get at least 2 hours exposure on that for meteors and stuff. From people who had clear sky yesterday, they were getting quite a few meteors between 5:30 and 6:30, so I'm hoping for the same this morning. Now I'm just up the sand dunes and I'm going to do a 360 pano of the sky using my Viltrox. It's a 33mm on a Fuji, but a 50mm equivalent lens, f2, ISO 4000, 4-second exposures, and just shoot around. Oh, there was one there. And just shoot around doing the sky pano first. That should take me about half an hour, and then I'm going to jump down the sand dunes just behind me and do a foreground panorama of the hut that I had in mind as well. So I've just finished the sky panorama, and we're getting some fantastic westerly cloud coming over now. Probably that sky panorama is not going to be the best because of that cloud. It came across the Milky Way pretty quickly, so we'll see how that turns out. I'll stitch it all together and then I'll choose which sky that I want, which is fine. I'm now going to do a quick pano, a ground pano of, which you can't see behind me, of that wee hut there, not from this angle but from down on the beach a wee bit further. That hut is the one that I thought about first yesterday when I was going to come out here, but it was too cloudy, too foggy, and I couldn't see the stars at all, so I decided to go somewhere else. So I'm going to take that ground pano now, and then we might take a few photos of these planets if that cloud hasn't come over to the east yet. A couple of days after my last trip to Waikuku Beach to get that got clouded out in the end, I went back a few mornings later. It was a work day. I was up with my wee girl Remy, feeding her, and then I thought I would I looked out the window and I saw it was pretty clear out there, so I got my stuff ready and headed out to the beach to grab hopefully the panorama that I was wanting the very first time that I headed out, and thankfully it stayed clear, not a cloud in the sky, and I got the 360 panorama that I originally had thought for this. So I have now gone through about 250 to 300 photos from my XH1 with the 4mm lens on it. It's got all the meteors that I captured from that and stitched them onto the panorama that I took, and so I'm going to show you that photo now. And then what I've also done is taken the sky from Waikuku that I took the other morning, or the sky with that process sky, and I've put it onto the ground of the Port Hills that I was up a few mornings ago too. So I've got that photo as well. So we'll see how that all goes, and let me know in the comments below which one of them you prefer. Do you like the Waikuku one with the driftwood hut, or do you like the Port Hills one above the cloud? Anyway, I will leave you to it now, and have a good rest of your day, and I'll see you in the next vlog.